Hello everybody, we are in a new spot, and I have a spinny chair. I'm actually filming a video during the daytime rather than at night after rehearsal, and so I decided rather than using my lights, I'll use natural lighting. Like, ooh, I just forgot to look at the thing. Listen, trying. What you waiting for? No, what you waiting for? So today we're gonna discuss a big thing that I will continue to love and forever, and that's books. I've been a huge reader since day one. When I was really little, we used to read this book called Goodnight Gorilla. It was a story where a zookeeper was saying goodnight to all like the little animals, and it'd be like, "Good night, gorilla," and then it would have like a certain key and it would match up with the bars, and I was like, this is so cool. But as like a 1-2-year-old, I would take markers and I would color it and be like, if it was talking about the lion, they're like, "Good night, lion," I would circle it, and my parents were like, "Oh look, she knows what it is," and I was like, yay, 2-year-old Helen. Since then, I've been reading constantly in kindergarten, first, second, all the way up till now. It's just something that's been a huge part of my life, especially the worlds that it's created. One of my first series was the fairy series. It was the Rainbow Fairies, which has taken off. There's probably like 10 series now. There's the Rainbow Fairies, the Gem, the Weather, the Party Fairies, the Animal Fairies, just put whatever you want, and they have the series. Claire and I, we read so many of those. They were great. But as I got older, I went and reread them. I was like, this is literally the same story, just with new fairies. The exact same story. But as a kid, I didn't mind. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And slowly, as I got into like elementary school, I started the Warriors series, which a lot of people have read, and that follows a cat named Firestar. Well, eventually he's Firestar. Spoilers to a 3rd grade book series. That's his life. He's going from a house cat to living in the wild, and they've made so many series of that. I stopped reading when there was, I think, in the middle of the 4th one, or like the end of the 4th one, and now there's like 7. Now they have one with dogs and bears. They're probably just gonna keep writing because people still read them. And then there was the Percy Jackson series, which was like, Then going into high school, there's other books that have just like really struck a chord, like Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. That is something that I connect so closely with. I have a twin sister, Claire. We're not identical, we're fraternal. Looking at the characters Kath and Ren, I see Claire and I so clearly. We're not to the extent as Kath and Ren, because Kath and Ren are two very polar, or not polar opposites, but in the people that they are, they're very the strong ones. Like Kath is a very, very strong introvert and very like in her world, and Ren is very much like partying and blah blah blah, and they used to be really close. And then they kind of grew apart. And so Claire and I are completely like that, but it was really interesting reading that, because I was like, what? Because it addressed some fears that I was having for college, like going off, and just it was really strong for me. So it's still something that I love. I have like 1 copy and like 2 special edition copies. I'm not gonna need all 3 of them, but do I have them? Yes. And then another series which I found recently was the Throne of Glass series. I really liked the assassin storyline. I don't know, just any book like Mistborn by Sanderson. I really take to that assassin, like young child, like the Gallagher Girls. So like some of the Tamora Pierce books, really important. And they're just books that have become such a huge constant in my life. Whenever I'm sad or happy or like just need a like certain emotion to be like expelled, I'll read. And as an introvert, I'm always taken to like just like being by myself and entering these worlds, and I've created so many stories, and this really helped me as like a reader, and I mean, well, as a reader, yes, but as a writer and in my speech, I'm more articulate. My friend Ian, he points out, he's like, "Helen, you must be a reader because like you say all these words," and I'm like, really interesting. Growing up with books, my reading and writing have become so much more advanced compared to like people who stop reading, and that's why it's so important for kids to keep reading, even in the smallest ways, because if you read 20 minutes a day, your knowledge and your vocabulary and just all these things are drastically improved just by the aid of books, and so it's really important. And so this is kind of like an intro video to a series that I want to do, and now that I've said on camera, I've got to do it, so yay, commitment. I'm just kind of talking about different series, so I'll probably like touch on Fangirl and Throne of Glass, Percy Jackson, Ranger's Apprentice, yada yada yada, of just kind of looking at different books and like what age group should be reading them, because it's really important to find a book. And also it's hard sometimes when you're like, well, what should I read? And like, well, I'll just go back to the same old, which is really good, but then you want to find new stuff. So that's my little intro to our new segment. Oh, also, completely forgot to address this. I'm in a new spot. Wait, did I already address this? Honestly, I could have addressed this at the beginning of the video, and I would remember. Okay, well, I'm in a new spot. And you'll just guess why. I probably already said this. I'll keep this in the video, just embarrass myself. It's really good. Okay, have a lovely week, and I hope you all enjoy things, and you smile a lot, and laugh, and don't get tickled, because being tickled is scary. Okay, bye guys.